So if it's not overrated, it's gotta be underrated.
Hey.
In New York, I mainly rock.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a very special New York edition of Life of a Sneakerhead. Today we have a sneaker showdown, and it is going down in Image NY in Flushing, Queens. I have two of the most opinionated sneakerheads in New York City with me today. In one corner, I've got Victoria Chang,
AKA Wu-Tang Chang, AKA your man's favorite plug, and he's going down.
In the other corner, we have Isaac Hammer.
Nah, I'm not going down. My opinions, they're bulletproof.
Today's topic of debate is going to be
Overrated sneakers?
versus
Underrated sneakers.
Victoria. Why should people listen to your sneaker opinions?
Because my opinion actually has validity. I've been working in this industry for a while. I'm actually a professional in this industry. I'm not just a hypebeast on these streets.
Okay.
All right, Isaac. Why should people listen to your opinions?
That was like, say 14. I like all types of sneakers. Not everyone is my field, but you know.
But Victoria does work full-time in the sneaker industry.
My opinions aren't polluted by industry politics, so.
I think we've got two sneaker experts, and I'm excited to get into this game of over-under.
Let's go.
The first shoe up for debate is the Wheat Public School Jordan 12.
Overrated.
Underrated.
I loved the gray ones. Everybody, if you guys have been watching Life of a Sneakerhead, you know I rock the gray ones.
I like the gray ones as well. I think the wheat colorway is super overrated. I get it, we're in New York, one of the most iconic popular colorways. But I think it's kind of corny for New York to have had the wheat colorway. Out of all the colorways, this is definitely the most overrated. After 12s came out, you'd think that public school would do something a little different with the 12s, but it's literally the same.
Isaac, you guys are both from New York City, and you just said that these are underrated.
Looks like a Tim, but right now, I'd say Jordans aren't really like making their, you know, they're not really in too much in the game anymore. I'd say ADIDAS is really killing it. I mean, public school, like you can't go wrong with public school, but just the colorway itself, these are hard to rock in the street.
The only reason that I cannot say that these are overrated is because I don't think that these are that hot right now. Are they overrated, underrated?
I'd rather wear a Tim.
Okay, it's overrated.
Thank you.
Ding, 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 ding. I'll give it 1 point to Victoria. The next shoe up in overrated, underrated is the Nike Talaria.
Underrated.
Overrated.
This is probably one of my favorite runners on the market right now. It's so underrated. It's literally sitting in Nike outlets. Came out in the late 90s, came back in 2016 and 17. It's just iconic and different from all the other runners out there right now.
I don't even know this shoe, but I say it's overrated. It came out before I was born, but you know, it is what it is. Come on, like, are you really gonna be? I mean, it looks like a tennis ball, don't you think?
That's the point.
Okay.
The kids just don't like it because it's not a Yeezy Calabasas runner.
Exactly. There's no big influencer behind it.
Yo, overall, I gotta say that these are, it's close, but these are underrated. Ding, 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 ding.
I'm taking L today.
Okay, next up, we've got the Supreme Subtempos.
These are so overrated. I feel like the up-tempos are a classic that should not be messed with or collaborated with. Like, did Pippen even agree to this?
I think they're underrated. Like, I know the Supreme, everyone's doing it. They're classic, but you don't really see too many people rocking them down the street just because they're kind of hard to rock. If you really feeling them, you gotta have the right fit.
This colorway is definitely overrated because I really don't like this red colorway. But because I actually have the gold ones, I'm going with Isaac on this one.
Hey!
Next up, we've got the Nike Air Force One Special Forces Edition.
I'm gonna go with underrated. I know there was hype behind these, but I feel like people didn't really understand the significance of around them. And also they're super versatile and one of the only sneakers that you can really rock in bad weather. Well, not the only sneakers, but only a stylish sneaker that you can really rock in bad weather and still be fly.
I gotta say, these are overrated. These are like sold out everywhere. I don't know about you, but you were talking about wearing this out in the rain.
Done
and
it. I did it in the blizzard.
This is suede, you know, like you want to mess up your suede. I think you could compare it to the Yeezy. I think that's what they're a little bit trying to get at. They're trying to go with that 750 style, but I mean, it's kind of biting in my terms.
No, these are so much more practical than the 750 and the zipper. Well, there's no zipper, but if there was a zipper, it would actually work.
Is this shoe overrated or underrated? I gotta make it a tie. Nobody wins, nobody loses on this one, because it's so debatable. Next up, we've got the Black Cement Jordan 3. What we going with?
Underrated.
I'm gonna go with overrated.
Like honestly, I really love these. These were back in the day. These were my go-to. Like if I were to pick like a J, either Bread ones or BC3s.
It's an iconic shoe, obviously. It's a classic. But I'm gonna go with overrated just because at one point they were reselling for like $800, especially with the Nike Air. It's probably like $1,000. I understand the historical significance behind the shoe, I really do. But for the resale value, it's pretty crazy. It's not. I don't think it's worth a few hundred in my opinion.
Overrated, underrated. That's a tough one right now. You know what? I just can't call a BC3 overrated. So if it's not overrated, it's gotta be underrated. Hey. All right, you guys, we are coming close to some tiebreaker rounds because it's tied up 2-2. We've got the Yeezy 350 Boost V2. Are these overrated or underrated?
These are definitely overrated, especially compared to the V1s, which were 10 times better. They make your feet look abnormally big, first of all, and they're not as comfortable as like an Ultra Boost. So paying almost $1,000 for some of these is just absurd in my opinion.
Isaac, what are you saying?
I'm gonna say underrated. To be honest with you, there's a lot of hype around this, but one thing's for sure, people are flipping this more than they're wearing it. You don't see many people wearing it.
Obviously not the
see
zebras.
moms in Williamsburg pushing their stroller in these.
They want to be
ruined
like
the
Kim.
hype.
They want to be like Kim.
I gotta give the point to Victoria. I think the V2 350s are overrated. However, I will make an exception for the creams. Next up, we've also got a controversial hot take. Overrated or underrated on the Bape NMD.
These are super overrated to me. I think Bape has done a lot of great collabs with different sneaker brands in the past, and this is not one of them. I feel like there was no creativity behind this, and for like over $1,000, that's just ridiculous for like a cloth shoe.
I do watch like what sells, and I say these are not selling. I think they're too iconic, and people want to just rather hold them than wear them. I think these are a little bit hard to rock, you know.
First of all, I like this colorway a lot better than this one, but they look cheap. The build quality looks like really cheap.
Yeah.
Which I think that's another reason why people are kind of sleeping on these.
The print is iconic, but this shoe is certainly not iconic.
All right, I gotta say this because everybody I've seen especially wear these ones.
Love
the
Bape.
Bape NMDs are definitely overrated in my opinion.
They're sleeping on it.
We've got a very interesting debate, and Victoria particularly feels passionate about. We're talking about the Oxford Tan 350 V1.
Completely underrated. I know there's so much hype around the V1s, but this is by far the most underrated colorway. I think it's super unique and different, and it's really hard to make a shoe this weird nude color and make it look hot, and I think Kanye did a really good job.
These are the worst colorways.
It's different.
You said it's his favorite. You said
They're
it's the worst.
avant-garde.
Like this is putting your feet in the sand, taking them out. Like this is the same thing.
I just can't agree with Victoria this time. All right, next up, we've got a also explosive shoe, the Nike Hyper Adapt.
I say overrated.
I'm gonna go underrated.
You really wear these? Like these are like a walking hazard, you know. You plug them in, like you plug in your phone too. Phones blow up sometimes. I don't know about these.
I know that the price is super high on these, but these are extremely innovative and new, and I feel like groundbreaking in sneaker culture, and I think it's worth it. It's the first shoe with this kind of technology, so
These are the self-lacing shoes, right?
Yeah, probably really difficult to make, and they needed to be priced that high, and I really appreciate Nike really stepping outside the box and creating something so creative and innovative.
Such an innovative shoe, but I gotta say that these are overrated. You guys, this is another big one for the kids. Everybody, the NMDs, we going over or under?
I'm gonna say overrated.
I'm gonna say underrated for these. They're actually an affordable running shoe, super comfortable. I know it's not Boost comfortable, but the price point is a little lower, more affordable. And I think it's especially an OG colorway. They're super clean, easy to rock.
But you're talking about like runners, like why not just grab a pair of Asics or something, you know, Gel Light 3s, Gel Light 5s, those are comfy and they're around the same price.
From an industry perspective, Victoria, you work in the sneaker industry. I see what you're saying. This is like an iconic shoe. This represents the rise of ADIDAS. On a sneakerhead level, I really do not like these.
Yeah.
I like the way they look, but I just know that you know, a lot of people who wear NMDs just really don't know anything about sneakers. Feel so torn. I gotta stick with my guns. I think they're overrated.
Hey.
Okay, so a couple runners that recently released, we're just talking about the last few months, right, that really blowing up, is the Adidas INIKI and then the Nike Vapor Max.
I gotta say these are overrated, but not in the way you would think. These are more of your normal person casual shoe. Sneakerheads, I don't really think they wear this too much.
I'm gonna say that the INIKIs are underrated. As soon as I saw the silhouette drop, I was in love. I think it's different. There's Boost technology. How could you hate on Boost technology?
It is a hot shoe. I can't say that it's overrated.
These are completely overrated.
Okay.
The only Vapor Maxes I have are the CDG ones, and still I'm not a huge fan of them because out of all the runners on the market right now, these are probably the worst ones. They're not that comfortable, and it's really hard to walk on like cobblestone or concrete in these, and I honestly am scared of the bubbles popping every time I wear them.
I feel like it's a bit uncomfortable from the bottom, but I want to say they're underrated. You won't see too many people rocking it on the daily.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because you have one shoe here that's like ultra wearable in a way, but it's just kind of like has no sneakerhead cred. This has a lot more sneakerhead cred, but it's almost like, so, you know, a lot of people call this a gimmick.
Right.
That did it for our brief overrated, underrated battle. The winner is Victoria Chang.
Woo! Sorry.
Yo, you guys, thank you so much for watching that episode of Life of a Sneakerhead, overrated, underrated. We are at Image NY in Flushing, Queens right now. Make sure in the comment section below, number one, you make sure you let us know what you thought of the overrated, underrated opinions presented in this video. And number two, make sure you let us know an opinion that you have about the sneaker world, whether it's overrated, underrated for the future. And number three, like and subscribe and share this video with anybody who loves sneakers, man. Again, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, we're out. Peace. Victoria, where can they find you at?
You can follow me at Wu-Tang Chang, Wu-Tang, and then CHIANG on Instagram.
Until next time, we out.
Peace.